Okay, so my screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please put on the camera. So in the last class, we started with this lesson, linear equations in two variables, right? And I taught you that what are basically linear equations. What does it mean to be in two variables? That whenever we have two different kinds of variables, and then we also studied finding solutions of a variable, and finally we came to the graph questions, right? So let's just quickly revise that table for inconsistent and consistent equations, and then we'll continue by it. So basically what happens whenever you have a linear equation of two variables, it has a general formula of ax plus by plus c, right? Where a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, and c is the constant term. So what happens if you have two equations with you and the ratio comes out to be equal, like a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. That means the equations are somewhat similar. They are exactly the same equation. So what will happen when you will plot the graph? The lines will coincide with one another, right? And such type of equations has how many solutions? How many solutions are there for such type of equations, Sumer?
Very many.
Infinite number of solutions. And what are they called? Are they called consistent or inconsistent?
Consistent.
Consistent. Then we came to the situation where a1 by a2 may not be equal to b1 by b2. That means the equations are exactly different. So such type of equation will have what kind of graph?
We have intersecting lines.
They shall intersect. And the point at which they are intersecting represents the, what does it represent?
Solution.
The solution. So that means since they are intersecting at only one point, so such type of equation will have exactly one solution. So are they consistent or inconsistent?
They are consistent.
They're consistent only. So basically, equations that have a solutions are said to be consistent. Now we come to the case where a1 by b2 is equal to b1 by b2, but it's not equal to the other ratio. Right? That means it's not equal to c1 by c2. So always remember, even if you're getting a1 by a2 equal to b1 by b2, never stop at that point and just write down, okay, it has infinitely many solutions. Always check for c1 by c2 also. Because sometimes it might not be equal and your answer would be no solution. So always complete the question. So such type of equations does not have any solution. Okay, and the lines are parallel. See, intersection of the graph means the solution for that equations. Right, now if the lines are only parallel, they are not intersecting. So what happens? They're obviously not going to have any solution. So these were the graphs. So intersecting line and this was coincident lines, and then we can also have, if there is they're like parallel lines, that means it does not have any solution. Right, so these were the topics we covered in last class. Then we studied graphs. So did you send me the graph? Did you send the graph that I told you to send where? No, you didn't. I asked you to send me the graph that you had drawn in the class.
Yeah.
What about your homework, Umair? Did you complete your homework?
No, they uploaded it only today.
What are you saying?
Today only a little while ago they uploaded it.
They uploaded today only, so that is okay. But the homework, anyways, I gave you for only one graph was there for homework. But I asked you to send me the graph that we practiced in class.
I forgot to send it.
Please send it to me quickly.
Yeah.
By the time we can come to the next question. Next we have, so we came to graphically finding out. Then we also came to the questions where you have to form the equation. The equation might not be given to you. Right? So this was one of the examples. Now, I gave you question 4 and 5 as homework. Have you completed the homework? Shall we discuss these questions now?
Yes, ma'am.
These questions. So we'll have a discussion on 4th and 5th question basically.
The first one is
1 minute. Just let me open the PDF once. Yes. Where are you there? Umair, do you hear me?
yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. So the first question is x plus y is equals to 5 and 2x plus 2y is equals to 10. So what you have to find, tell whether they are consistent or inconsistent and obtain the solution graphically. So first you will do, what will you do? Tell me, are they consistent or inconsistent?
They are inconsistent.
How? Because we have a1 by e2 is equals to 1 by 2. b1 by b2 is equals to 1 by 2. And c1 by c2 is equals to 5 by 10, which is also equal to 1 by 2 only. So how come
Yes,
they are inconsistent?
they are consistent, ma'am.
Yeah, they're consistent. They have how many solutions?
They have infinitely many.
So a1 by a2 is equals to b1 by b2 is equals to c1 by c2. So
Yeah,
the equation is said to be consistent and it has how many solutions?
infinitely many.
Infinite solutions. So let's also draw the graph. Did you draw the graph? Did you draw the graph from where?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Yes. So first we draw the graph for x plus y is 5. So basically when x is equals to 1, y is equals to 4. When x is equals to 2, y is equals to 3. Okay. So this is for first equation. And the second equation is 2x plus 2y is equals to 10. So it also has same values only. When x is equals to 1, so y is equals to 2. And here also. So y is equals to 4 and when x is 2, it has 3. So you get the same solutions. Now you can plot the graph. This is the y-axis, the x-axis. This is the first point and this is the second point. So these are the lines, okay? They're coincident lines. Understood, Umair?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first part of the question. Now the second one, what does it say? X minus y is equals to 8 and 3x minus 3y is equals to 16. So what kind of equations are they?
They are inconsistent. They are parallel lines.
They have parallel lines, exactly, because here 1 by 3 is equals to 1 by 3, which is not equal to 1 by 2. So basically, they are inconsistent. And how many solutions?
They have no solution.
They have no solution. Okay. So let's also draw the graph for this. So what are the values for x and y? You may tell me.
Values for
Your voice is very low, Umair, again. Yes.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I do hear you. So what are the values that you take?
Values for x and y. If y is 0,
Okay, so when you take y 0, so what is, you're taking y 0. Okay, so x is,
x will be 8.
okay. So next, next.
Next, if you take x 0, x will be minus 8.
Okay, so you have 0 and minus 8, but then you have to draw a very huge graph. Okay, try to draw simpler graphs. So one way is like you can take y1. So you know x is 9, isn't it? Then next is 3x minus 3y 16. So what are the values that you've taken for this equation?
If x is 0,
You're taking x 0. So what is y?
y will be minus. No, if x is 1,
Did you solve this, Umair, or are you solving now?
huh?
Did you solve them before, or are you solving them now only in the class?
I'm solving it now.
But this was supposed to be a homework.
No, the homework they gave it today only.
Okay, no problem. So you're taking x, y, x. Let's take x as, if we take 0, so we will have y as 16 by 3. So let's not take that. When we take 1, so we will have 13 by 3. Let's try to take a number by which like 16 and 3 becomes divisible, right? So like let's try to take that number. I don't think there exists such number. Let's take in fraction only. So we have when x 0, so y will be, let's take y 0. So x will be basically 16 by 3, right? Then when y is 1, 19 by 3. So these are the values. Now, how will you plot these fractions on the graph? How will you plot these fractions on the graph, Umair?
This is inconsistent, ma'am.
You can.
This is inconsistent.
Yeah, this is inconsistent. So what? So you should get parallel lines, right?
Yeah.
So you should plot a graph as well. For inconsistent, we have no solution. It is not that we don't have a graph only. We have a graph, which is a parallel graph.
Yeah.
So you have to plot a graph. So I'm asking you, how do you plot fraction values on the graph? Can I convert them into decimal and then plot?
Yes.
Okay. So I get 3 into 5 times is 15. Then 3 into 3 times approximately 9. So 5.3. Then here I get 6.3. Okay. So let's now plot a graph. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's take two values. It will be a very small one else.
Ma'am, they have asked only if it's consistent to draw the graph.
It is written obtained. Okay, you don't have to draw the graph. But no problem, where you
No,
can
ma'am.
practice, right?
No, ma'am. They haven't said to draw the graph for everything.
Yes, I understood. It is written obtain the solutions graphically, right?
No, if consistent, obtain the obtain the solution graphically.
Yes, Umair, I understood the question. What I'm saying is it's okay. You can practice the graph as well. Because in the exam, they might ask you a graph where the lines are inconsistent also. So it's of no loss if you're practicing the graph, right? Is there any loss if you're studying the graph as well?
What?
Is there any loss if you're studying the graph or inconsistent as well?
No,
It is
ma'am.
there in your syllabus, right? So we have 1 and 2. So we can draw it like 8, 9. 5.3 and 6.3. See, so these are the coordinates, and when you join these lines, what are you getting? Parallel lines, right? That means it
Yes.
does not have a solution. Okay, so now we move ahead. Now, 2 questions you have practiced in class, 2 questions you can do as your homework only. We can now come to question number 5. What is question number 5? See, it says that half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meter more than its width. So there is a relationship given between breadth and length. So length is basically 4 meter more than width. So can I write L is equals to W by 4? Can I write it like this?
Yes.
Okay. Next, it is given perimeter is 36 meter. So now perimeter is also given to you. What is the formula for perimeter of a rectangle?
L plus W.
What is the formula?
L plus W.
U,
L plus W.
the perimeter of a rectangle.
2 length plus 2 W.
Yeah, so you write it as twice length plus breadth is equals to, it is how much? 36 meters. Okay, now see, variable can be any letter. So you can consider L and W also. But if you want, you can also consider, like, let's take length as X and breadth as Y. You can do it like this also. So it's totally up to you. Whatever method you use. You want to do it by L and W or X by Y? Tell me.
Yeah.
L and W is fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have now, see, the general format was like all the things should be on the left hand side. So I have like L, this is my first equation. So this can be written as L minus W is equals to 4. And what does my second equation becomes? L plus W is equals to 18. Right? Now these are my equations. Now how am I going to plot the graph? You have to plot the graph with this. Yeah, you have to plot the graph. Find the dimensions of the garden. Now, where what happens in your exam? See, since in your textbook you have all the methods, like you have substitution method also, the algebraic method also. So in your exam, if this question comes, you can use algebraic method as well, right? And other methods as well. But since right now we are practicing graphs, so we will obtain the solution graphically. Okay? So what kind of equation it is? 1 is to 1, not equal. This becomes parallel lines. Okay, no. This is unique solution because A1 by A2 is 1 by 1, B1 by B2 is minus 1 by 1, and C1 by C2 is 2 by 9. Right? So here A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So what kind of equation? Unique solution. So now we'll plot the graph. We have what are the possible values for L and W where when W is 0, so L will be 4. When W is 1, L will be 5.
Yes.
And for the second equation, L and W. When W is 0, L is 18 only, and when W is 1, 1. When it is 1, it becomes equal to 17. Here I will have to draw a lot of points. Let's take some other values, okay? Let's take values so that L is also somewhere smaller number only. So when W is 8, L is 10. Okay. And when W is 9, L is also 9. See, now we have a smaller graph with us. Easier to draw. Now we can plot these points on the graph. What is the highest value for x-axis given? What should be the highest value here?
10.
10, exactly. So I will draw till 10. Let's draw one extra. And then highest value for y is 9. Somewhere over here. So my first point was 4 comma 0, 4 comma 0, and 5 comma 1. So 4 comma 0 is over here. 5 comma 1 lies over here. Next was 10 comma 8 and 9 comma 9. So 10 comma 8 and 9 comma 9. Like this. This is my graph. Where is it intersecting? At 11 comma 7.
7. Yeah.
So what is my length? Length I took on x-axis, right? So length is 11. And what is the breadth? 7. Do you understand it, Kaya?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we now come to the next one. Okay, now we have question 7. Okay, right. So now we have one very interesting question with us, and it says that you've been given some points, and now you have to form a triangle of those points. Come to question 7. Okay, we have done question 5. Question 6 is basically given linear equations, write another equations in two variables such that geometrical representation of the pair so formed as intersecting lines coincident parallel. Can you tell me such example? One of the equation is given. If you want parallel lines, so and intersecting lines and coincident lines, so what should be the other equation? Can you give me an example? What was the case for intersecting lines where A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2? So can you form another equation where this thing is true? Tell me.
Yes.
Tell me the solution, Umar.
3x plus 1y minus 2 is equal to 0.
8x plus y, and here you can write any number minus 7 minus 23. So this can be one of the equations. Okay, coincident line. The ratio should be equal. See, whenever they are asking you a coincident line, take one number, multiply the entire equation with that number. Okay, let's suppose you take 3. You multiply the entire thing with 3. So you have 6x plus 9y minus 18. I'm sorry, it's 8, not 6. 24 is equals to 0. So this will be constant. And coincident lines. Now, can you tell me for parallel lines also?
2x
Yes.
plus 3y
Plus 3y and
plus 2 is equal to 0.
speak little loud, Sumer. You're speaking very slow.
Plus 2.
Plus 2 is equals to 0. Okay. Correct. So you get parallel line. So now we have question 7. It says, draw the graphs of the equation. Two equations are given to you and determine the coordinates of the vertices of the triangles formed by these lines and the x-axis and shape the triangular area. So basically, it is given to you that when you will plot the graph of this equation and this equation, you are supposed to get a triangle. So let's try to plot it. So where do you have a graph paper with you?
Yes.
Okay, open your graph paper and try attempting this question. Yes, so may I completed. Shall we discuss? Omer, do you hear me?
Yes.
I'm asking you something. Please at least respond.
Yeah, ma'am.
I'm asking you, have you completed? Shall we discuss?
No, I didn't complete. Okay, ma'am. I completed.
All right. So let's discuss the question. The equations are x minus y plus 3 and 3x minus plus 1 is 0, the first equation. And second one is 3x plus 2y minus 12 is 0. Okay, so what are the coordinates that you're taking? For the first equation, what are your coordinates?
So the first equation 0, 1, 1.
You take then x. What is the first x that you're taking?
If x is 0, y is 1.
Okay, and
If x is 1, y is 2.
y is 2. Okay. Then for the second one, what are the coordinates?
X is 0, y is 6.
When x is 0, y will be
6.
okay 6. Correct. Then
If x is 4,
okay.
y will be 0.
So now we shall plot the graph. So highest value of x you want is just 4. And for y we want is 6. First is 0, comma 1. 0, comma 1 lies over here. Then it is 1, comma 2 lies over here. Then 0, comma 6 and 4, comma 0 right? So when we join the lines, what is the triangle that you're getting? This A, B, and C. No, wait.
Yes.
You have to. The question says the triangles formed by the lines. Is it x-axis or y-axis? Let me just check.
X-axis.
Is it x-axis?
Yes.
Okay, Asi. It's written by these lines in the x-axis. So what you will do? If it was written y-axis, then you have considered this triangle that we like just now marked. But since it is x-axis given to us, so I will just extend this further. Okay, I just extend this line further. I join it over here. And now this is the triangle that I should be getting. Okay. Now you also have to write the coordinates of the vertices. So what are the coordinates of the vertices? First is this one. So this is equal to approximately 2.7.
No, it is 3
So
comma 2.
2 comma 3.
It's 3 comma 2.
How come 3, Umair? It's 2 for x. You always write x comma y. This is A. This is
Ma'am,
B.
you have this graph, the y-axis is x-axis and the x-axis y-axis.
See, no problem. The thing remains the same. See, if the x-axis is y-axis, so it does not change your answer. You can draw it by a number of ways. I could have taken points such that my graph is lying somewhere over here. I could have taken points like this also. Then also my answer would have been correct to me. Right? So your answer does not change. This 2 comma 3, then you have this is minus 2 comma 0. And here it is 4 comma 0. Alright?
Ma'am, I got different answers.
This is the solution.
Ma'am, I got different answers.
What is your answer?
I got 3 comma 2.
First tell me, is this table correct? Like, did you get the correct table like this only?
Yes.
Okay, so let's plot 0 comma 1. Where are you plotting 0 comma 1? When x is 0 and 1, you should be getting first point over here. Are you getting first point like this? Where have you marked 0 comma 1?
Yeah.
Where have you marked 0 comma 1? These are the points that we have to mark, right? Where? So the first
Yeah.
is 0 comma 1 and 1 comma 2. So 0 comma 1 will be over here. And 1 comma 2 lies over here. These are the points for the first equation. You get it correct. Please look carefully on there. When please respond yes or no. Did you plot it this way only?
No, ma'am.
Where are you plotting 0 comma 1 then?
I changed the axis.
Did you plot 1 comma 0? That is incorrect. You cannot do like that. What is your table over here? This table says 0 comma 1, not 1 comma 0. 0 comma 1 and 1 comma 0 are two different points. So they are not the same. 0 comma 1 means x is 0 and y is 1. 1 comma 0 means x is 1 and y is 0. Okay, so you have to plot accordingly. Plot 0 comma 1, then 1 comma 2, then 0, 6, and then 4, 0.
Okay.
You understand your mistake?
Yes.
Okay, so please do it accordingly. Correct it. Correct
Ma'am,
it.
so if I change the x and y axis, is no problem.
Uh, okay, Umair, so how will you change the x and y axis? Will you write x over here and y over here?
No, I wrote y over there and x over here.
You wrote y over here and x over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's correct. Now what did you do? First point was 0, 1. Where have you marked this point?
I marked 1, 0.
No, so that's incorrect. Change it.
Okay.
The points that you have marked that would have been correct if this you are considering as y-axis and this you're considering as x-axis. The points that you have marked according to those points. But you have wrote this as y and this is x as conventional method. So now your points become incorrect. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. Quickly correct your points away so that we can go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, done. Now are you getting the same triangle? 1 minute. So next question that we have is, I guess we're done with this graphical methods of solving equations. So you can just quickly go through the textbook notes for the first exercise and tell me if you have any doubts from this part.
What, ma'am?
You have any doubts from graphical part?
No.
Okay. So I'll just give you some introduction for algebraic methods. So now what does the algebraic method say? It basically says that you don't have to draw a graph. Instead, you have to solve the equation algebraically. So here you have various methods. Like the first is the substitution method. So what do you do in the substitution method? For example, these are the equations. Okay, these are the equations that you have. So first of all, you are going to consider one of the equation and find the value of one of the variable. So you see here, just try to find a variable which has the lowest uh, coefficient attached to it, or it does not have a coefficient attached to it. Okay. Okay. Charging. Or you don't have a coefficient attached to it. So please focus on the board where focus on the board. What are you doing? I'm teaching you. What are you supposed to write right now?
Making the graph.
Are we doing the graph? Or
Huh?
are we doing the graph right now?
No, that is graph. I was shading it.
So are we doing that or have we completed that?
We completed it.
So now we are on algebraic thing, right?
Huh?
Now we have started a new topic, Umair, so you need to be focused on the board.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm teaching you the substitution method. So what did I tell you just now? What kind of variable am I supposed to select?
You can choose any one of them.
Any of them? Did I say this right now? I told you a trick, a very important trick. And you were busy drawing the graph. And Umair, this thing I've noticed in various other classes also that you're not paying attention on the board. You don't want to understand what I'm teaching. You need to be focused, right? So here I'm going to select the equation. Just look at all the variables first. I have 7x, 15y, x and 2y. So which of them has the lowest coefficient attached to them? X. X has just one attached to it. So consider this second equation, consider this x. So now you write x is equals to, find the value of x. What is the value of x? X is equals to 3 minus 2y. Isn't it?
Yes.
Now what am I going to suppose to do? I will substitute this value in first equation. In equation 1. So what do you have now? 7x minus 15y is equals to 2. This is my second equation. So instead of x, I will write 3 minus 2y. So I have 7 into 3 minus 2y minus 15y is equals to 2. Now just solve this as we used to solve linear equations in lower classes. 21 minus 14y minus 15y is equals to 2. So this becomes 21. You add these numbers, what do you get? 29y is equals to 2. So minus 29y is equals to 2 minus 21. Right? So it becomes minus 29y is equals to, what is 2 minus 21? 19. Minus 19. So now y is equals to minus 19 by minus 29. Okay, and x is equals to 3 minus 2y. Now what value are you getting for y? You substitute it back to the x value. So x was 3 minus 2y. Now you substitute this y over here. You get x is equals to 3 minus 2 and 19 minus 29. You get x is equals to 3 minus 38 by 29. You get 29 minus 38 by 29. No, wait. You have to multiply also with 3. 87 minus 38. 9. And then you get 7 over here and 49 by 20. So this is the value for x and this is the value for y. So do you understand how the substitution method works?
Yes, ma'am.
What you have to do is, first of all, you always consider the value of the variable which has the lowest coefficient attached to it. I could have selected 15y also. That also would have been given me the correct answer, but then your procedure become more. So it's easier if I'm just getting x is equals to 3 minus 2y. It's easier to substitute, easier to calculate. Right. Now, similarly, we have other questions also. This question says, here you have to first form the equation. Here is shown the cost of 2 pencils and 3 erasers is rupees 9. So can I consider cost of 1 pencil is x rupees and cost of 1 eraser is y rupees. So what do I have? 2x plus 3y gives me 9 and cost of 4 pencils and 6 erasers, that means 4x plus 6y gives me 18, right? This is your equation. Now what you have to do again, find it by substitution method. So again, what am I going to do? I look at the value of the variable which has lowest coefficient attached. So which is 2x. So now find the value of x. Tell me what will be the value of x.
9 minus 3y by 2.
X is equals to 9 minus 3y by 2. This is x. Now you are going to substitute this over here. So what do we get? 4 into 9 minus 3y by 2 plus 6y is equals to 18. Okay, can you tell me the next step?
Cancel 4 by 2.
I'll cancel 2 and 4. I get 2. So 2 into 9 minus 3y, what does it give me?
18 minus 6y.
Yes. Plus 6y is equals to 18. So what do I have over here? This
18
cancels out. 18 is equals to 18. See, actually, why are we getting this kind of answer? Because what? See, this was our equation. What kind of equation do you think it is? What kind of equation is it? Consistent, inconsistent, and if consistent, then how many solutions?
This is consistent dependent.
With how many solutions?
Infinitely many.
Infinite number of solutions. That means I can have any value for x and y, and I'm going to have infinite number of solutions. That is why I'm getting 18 is equals to 18. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So see, there is an explanation also given. We cannot find a unique value. This is very important line. Cost of pencil and eraser, because there are many common solutions to the given solution. So whenever you get an answer like this in exam, then you must write this explanation, okay? That's important. So now, okay, now this type of questions can be asked to you, whether the rail will cross each other or not. So the rails will cross each other only when they have how many solutions?
What?
See, two equations are given to you, and these equations are two rails that are moving. So when will the rails cross each other? How many solutions will be there so that they are crossing each other?
2.
Tell me, where how many number of solutions should be there?
2.
No, there should be just a unique solution. There needs to be a unique solution, right? If I had an intersecting graph, how many solutions was it having?
1 solution.
One solution. So for the rails to cross, it must have only one solution. So their first question is like, will the rails cross each other? Now you're going to write yes, firstly, or no, yes or no, depending upon the equation. And then if you think it is yes, then you also need to solve it and find that unique solution. Then we have, okay, elimination method is not in this exercise. So let's do one thing. Can you practice these questions? Shall I give them to you as homework? And then can we have a discussion of these questions in the next class?
In the assignment?
Yeah, I can give you this as assignment. Will you be able to do?
Yeah, it will be in the class book.
Yeah, the class homework basically. So positively do these questions by the next class, Umair, because we have to discuss it in the next class, okay? So
Yeah,
you can
just sending the assignments while the day class is there.
actually that's from my end only, Umair. I'll update the assignments quickly after the class, okay?
Okay.
I'll just send the assignments as soon as I end the class, and so you can practice the questions. Fine?
Yeah.
All right. So for today, we'll just keep it up till here. I hope everything was clear to you. Now in the next class, we will be discussing this 3.2 exercise, and if we have time, we'll also be coming to the elimination method. So just keep revising. Yes, Umair, what you saying?
The whole 3.2?
3.2. What are you saying? Please repeat again.
The whole 3.2?